All right, this isn't really good here. Felt some bubbles on the old race truck down here. This is the right corner, bottom corner of the right door and the bottom corner of the right cab. Felt some bubbles in the paint the other day, and I had originally thought that this was pretty solid over here, but apparently it's not. However, it's not like completely gone. It's definitely perforated a little bit. In keeping with the goal of this truck, which is to be a race truck and not necessarily a showpiece and be permanently fixed forever and ever, I am going to repair this, and I don't believe at this point that I'm going to be putting a whole rocker on here. The rest of the rocker is solid. There's no bubbles anywhere all the way up there, and I don't see any reason to do that. I can see maybe I might need to cut a little bit of this door out here and weld a new little piece there, but the goal of this truck is to haul rear end down the track and look pretty decent. And what I've done here is I ground this away and exposed the little holes and everything, and I've just a minute ago jetted some OSFO up in there, which is phosphoric acid based rust killer. It will convert that rust from iron oxide to iron phosphate, effectively killing it as long as you don't have it caked on. Now, I've blown it all up in this hole right here, you know, sideways, upways, every which way, and these little holes here, I sprayed it up inside here. Now, the good news is I sprayed it up inside the cab corner here, and it has not been dripping out. So it's not perforated at the bottom anyway. It's only right there. So I might have caught it before it got horrifically bad. Now, I know a lot of people will probably say you should replace it anyway. Well, I'm not going to. I don't want to, and I just don't really feel like it's going to be necessary. I believe I can make an effective repair that'll last for years and years and years by killing this rust. I may spot blast it here, blowing this OSFO up inside there, and then maybe some later on I might put some rust encapsulator or some other kind of rust protectant inside there in here to coat it so it won't rust anymore. The key is if you kill the rust and then stop moisture and oxygen from getting to it, it doesn't rust anymore. Now, the problem with that is often when you use a product like that and it still rusts, that means you didn't stop moisture and oxygen from getting to it. So when people say those products don't work, well, sometimes they don't if you just don't have a successful repair. But I'll eventually take the door panel off of this and I'll look at it from inside the door panel. I'll see how bad this is, but I believe this is located just at this bottom spot here. And at worst, I think I might need to cut off a piece here and just replace the bottom corner of this door and kill the rust from inside and treat it from the inside and repair this with fiberglass based filler. I'll probably use Everglass, which has got fiberglass and Kevlar reinforcement in there, and I think that'll last for years and years and years. Now, when I get into it a little more, maybe I'll change my mind, but I believe for now that's what we're going to do. So right now I've treated it with the OSFO and I'm waiting for the stuff to convert. It should leave that rust. That rust is already nowhere near as brown as it was. It's already kind of turning dark, so it should leave that fairly dark. And then I'm going to spray some self-etching on top of this just to protect it for now until I can get it turned around and sure enough work on it. But I was just playing with this and decided to grind this stuff off when I felt these bubbles, and this is what I found. So is it a little additional work than over what I thought it might be? Yeah, but doesn't look too bad. I believe we'll be able to salvage most of this back there. So anyway, here's another little update. Questions, comments? I will make a little addendum to that. The bed has been kind of sitting for a little bit. I just did this a little bit ago. You can kind of see right there, you can see those two little dimples. That's where the snaps used to be for the old tonneau cover and where they were filled, and like almost 40 years ago. And I got to refill them because I had the bed sandblasted. So I started back here because I had a little extra filler. We've just had some life events going on. Now we're on the other side. Anyway, rather than working on this, my son wrestles in college, and he just finished his freshman year, but right before the end of the year, they announced that they were going to cancel their wrestling program. So we've been dealing with scrambling, trying to find him another school and see if that was going to be viable. so he can continue his wrestling career. And that has, in fact, we've got good news, and he is going to. So I may expose that at some point as far as where he wrestles and all that. But anyway, for now, yeah, that's taken up a good little bit of time. We had to stop and go look at some schools and deal with all that to see. That was kind of an upsetting time when that was announced. But so the moral of the story is I haven't worked on the bed too much. I've also been awfully busy. But it's coming along. I'm working this hole here, trying to get the little edge to be round. I will say this one here doesn't need any work, but I want it to, this is my goal here, to make it look more or less like that. And it was not, because this side had to be built up a little bit because of the damage and the work that was done. It's got to be made out of mostly filler. There's fiberglass filler under here. That's what this greenish stuff is. So anyway, that is the full update on the race truck. I wiped that place just a few minutes ago too. That's another little low spot that I missed earlier. But these are low spots. They're wiped and sanded, and that's wiped and sanded, and there's been some work done down there, and that's mostly ready to go. Probably another priming and blocking, and then we'll know. We'll be pretty close then. So once this bed is in its final coat of epoxy, I am probably going to set it to the side and then start going on the cab, because other than that place I just showed you and a little place at the bottom of the driver door, that's about all the cab needs. I think there may be one right under the back glass that's not rusted all the way through, that just needs a little spot blasting. But other than that, the cab is pretty straight. Not a whole lot going on. I'm going to just sand it down. I'm going to epoxy coat it and block it, and if it looks straight, I'm going to let it rip. Anyway, there's our final update for May, even though this is technically June, I guess. But that's where we got through the end of May. So questions, comments, appreciate everybody watching. I'm really hoping to get out on the track later this year. That may not happen, but that was my goal. So thanks for watching.